Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of using a structured buyout. Now, if you're not sure what a structured buyout is, it's simply giving money up front to a client to kind of confirm the terms of your agreement and also to provide an extra service to them, okay? Provide extra value. Now, here's the thing. There are pros and cons to using a structured buyout, and I wanted to talk about those today so that you're aware of them, okay? There are multiple ways to do deals in this business. I talk about 4 ways in a different YouTube video. Just look up 4 ways to structure surplus funds deals and you'll find it. And all of the ways work, okay? And there's pros and cons to all of them, okay? There is no one-size-fits-all approach to this business. There's not one elite or best practice. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. It goes the saying, right? Same goes for the business, okay? There's not just one way that's the only way that's going to work. That's not how it works. That's not how it is, okay? There's multiple ways to be successful in this business. And there's pros and cons to every method. Now, structured buyout method, let's talk about the pros first, okay? The pros with the structured buyout is you're providing an additional service to your client, okay? You're giving them money up front. Could be a flat amount, could be $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, could be a percentage of the overall recovery, okay? And that's great because they probably need it, right? They probably need that money to move or to find a place to rent. Like that's a good thing. It's a good service, a good value to provide to people, okay? So, and because it's an extra service, and because you're risking your money now, you can now command a higher percentage. And when I say a higher percentage, I'm talking like maybe 40, 50% of the recovery. Like that's what I've seen. People charge when they do structured buyouts, okay? And rightfully so, because you are providing an extra service. So those are the pros of doing a structured buyout. Extra service, more profit. Here's the flip side of that. Here are the cons. And these are, you need to be aware of these because there's pros and cons to everything. The cons of a structured buyout are, of course, increased risk, okay? If you're a brand new person, if you're a newbie, if you don't know how to do title search, or if you're not 100% confident in your ability to determine exactly how much an overage is, which can be difficult, especially if the money's not being held by the court or the county. It can be very difficult to know exactly how much money is available if you're working non-judicial foreclosures, mortgage overages, okay? It's easier with tax overages or with mortgage overages where the money's in the court system. You can confirm, okay? But when you do a structured buyout, your risk increases dramatically because if you're putting money up front and you didn't do your due diligence and the deal goes south and maybe you missed a lien or maybe you signed up the wrong claimant because you didn't check title, or maybe you signed up the wrong heir if it's an estate case, or maybe somebody already opened up an estate for them and you didn't sign up the personal representative. There's a lot of things that you need to check and be 100% sure of before you risk money in a structured buyout. And if you missed something and the deal goes south, you just lost your money. And if you used an investor's money, you just lost your investor's money. So you have to be 100% confident in your abilities as a recovery specialist if you're going to do a structured buyout, okay? And this is why I don't teach structured buyouts. Because a lot of folks that come to me are brand new to overages. They're beginners. And I don't want to teach people something that's going to end up potentially losing them money. I'm here to help people make money. So that's the number one thing is risk, okay? Your risk increases dramatically when you do a structured buyout. The second thing is if you're going to do a structured buyout, you need to have very thick skin. You need to be a very tough person. Personally, I wish I could say that I was a tough person and very hard-nosed and just lay down the law person, but there is a soft side to me, and that can be, I know myself, okay? And I know that I want to be charitable and help someone when I can, and I know that that can get me into trouble. Here's what I mean. When you give somebody money, oftentimes, in my experience, they are going to ask you for more. When you give someone money one time, they're going to ask you again. And when you say no, and you say, hey, I already gave you this money, I cannot give you any more until we complete this deal, you now become the bad guy. You're now the bad guy. And they're going to guilt trip you. They're going to try to manipulate you and say, well, you said you'd help me through this, and I went through this, and blah, blah, blah. And they're going to put all their stuff on your shoulders, and they're going to make you try to feel bad and sorry and try to get more money out of you, okay? So if you're a thick-skinned person and you can handle that, great. For me, I don't even want to deal with that. So I often do not do structured buyouts. Now, have I done them? Yes. I've given money to people, whatever. But it's not my go-to strategy, okay? I'll do it when necessary, but I don't lead with it, okay? Or I don't offer it right away. Will I mention it? Yeah. But I don't like it, personally, for the reasons I mentioned. Increased risk, and you can easily become the bad guy when you give money and if you don't give any more money, okay? So that's something just to be aware of. You need to be aware of that, okay? And those are probably the two biggest cons is increased risk and becoming the bad guy and, you know, potentially being taken advantage of, stuff like that. So be aware of the pros and the cons of structured buyouts, and I hope that helps, and I appreciate you watching. Thanks, guys.